Today I want to talk with you on a very serious topic, kids and games, and I think I should talk with you about that because at least I have quite a lot of experience. As a person working in a video game museum and one of the creators of video game museum, and as a person that was working as a youth worker for many years with experience of international projects and many projects with children connected with video games and making video games and design, at least I can share with you my knowledge. What games should children play? How long they should play? Is my kid addicted to video games? Are all video games evil? I think all parents have those questions. And right now I'm sharing with you my thoughts. So, first of all, I truly believe that video games as a whole are very good and positive thing. So video games are good for children. That's what I think. Why? First of all, we live right now in this digital time. Everything goes more and more into this IT sphere of things. Here in Estonia, we're really pro futuristic technologies. We are really into this IT. In schools we have those iPads everywhere, and children are starting from like almost kindergarten to study some kind of basics of programming. So we are, as a country, as a society, are really into those new technologies. So anyway, your kid will be in those technologies. Many things for us, for my generation, and of course for my parents' generation, is quite weird right now, connected with children that are growing up. It can be quite scary that they know how to push the buttons at 8 years old, 6 years old, they know how to call the phone, they know how to play those video games. But it's their generation. Many questions about video games. Parents are concerned about Minecraft. I believe myself that the Minecraft game is great. It's about creative thinking, it's about evaluation of the things you're doing. So, kids, when they play this game, they have to find wood. From wood they make tools. With the tools they take some rocks. From rocks they find iron. From iron they make armor. They have to think, and the game really pushes the limits and really helps children to undertake quite serious tasks. It's like playing Lego, but digital Lego, and with some extra stuff around, and they can play together. It's a group work, teamwork. It's great. It's so cool that children can really be creative. They can create unbelievable structures, and it's a great tool, even for school and education. So Minecraft is great. Other games, there are pros and cons in everything. Right now, Fortnite is very popular. There are many memes and jokes that Fortnite is for kids and it's stupid. It's a game that involves skill, and children should use their skills, and it's fast-paced, so they really have to quickly undertake tasks, and there are many positive aspects of Fortnite or those looter-shooter games. I'm not talking about money that children may spend on those games, but I'm talking more about positive aspects that they have to work sometimes in teams. They have to really quickly do things. Of course, it involves a lot of dopamine and overdose of that dopamine, and I truly believe that kids shouldn't play those shooter games a lot. It should be really limited, the amount of the time spent on those games, but all in all, it may be totally positive for a kid. And yeah, there are many games like that. The last Among Us is just a mafia game. So it's a good game. They should find an imposter, I don't see anything bad in that. It's pretty good. It's I would say somehow educational game. And we can go on. Okay, so you have children and you don't know which games they should play. Well, first of all, there is a rating system, you know? Many parents forget about that. Like totally forget that there are ratings. They were invented in 80s, 90s. They were invented in 90s because of a famous Mortal Kombat game where there was first time blood and gore and everything, and in America it was quite a big fight and blah blah blah. In the end, we have rating systems. There is ESBN in America, there is PEGI in Europe. Just check the number. That's easy. Of course, it's not that easy. Like here, okay, we have Tekken, it's a fighting game. There is 16 plus, so from 16 years. There's Uncharted, you can play from 16 years. This one doesn't have one because it's a collector's edition, but on the CD itself, if you will open the box, there will be written that you can play this game from 18 years old. In America, I think it's 21, I don't know. Anyway, like 18 years old, and it's red. You can see by the colors, like green is for everyone, orange, it's like you should really think about it, and red, kids shouldn't play that. And there is orange, 12 years old with Portal game, Call of Duty Ghost 16. Okay, so first you check the number. If it's 16 plus, then you should really consider, should my kid, if he's like 12, 10, 8 years old, should he play that game? Some of those games that are numbered 16 plus, for me, myself, I believe they are quite safe for children. From 10 years old, I think definitely they can play Tekken. Why not? Of course, there are girls with a bit too much over-sexualized, I would say. It's not good, but children don't really usually even think about it. Like, kids don't think about those things that we think about. So you can always check the level of violence on the cover of the game. And you can decide yourself, are you okay with that or not? Are you okay with some sexual content in that game, or some strong language in that game? Do you want your kid to play that? Because as a parent, you're responsible for your child and what your kid is consuming. Why I'm talking about that is that yes, all those games, 16 plus, there are some pros and cons, but most of them, it's okay. Like, children do really understand that this is not a real world. They are, you know, kids of this generation that is used to virtual reality, to those hyper-realistic graphics, and somehow, even from small age, they understand the difference between reality and fake world there behind the screen. But there are some games that are too much, and I'm talking about games like GTA, or I would say Mortal Kombat 10, you know, those latest Mortal Kombat games, or GTA games. I'm totally into those games. Those are great games. I'm not saying you should ban those games or something like that. What's happening right now in America, they constantly are trying to ban those games. No, I'm just saying that when your kid or children are 8 years old, they shouldn't play that. There were so many situations where parents were like, yeah, where's the GTA? My kid's favorite game is GTA, and there's a kid like, I don't know, 7 years old, and he barely knows how to play NES. He doesn't know how to jump with Mario. For him, Sonic is too hard, but he's playing GTA. And then they don't see the trouble. Maybe there is no trouble. But again, this is like my brain and what I think about it. So I think it's not okay. Because in this game, first of all, it's 18 years plus. It's red label, so that's you know, it's beginning. I think in America, if I'm right, it's like 21 plus. It's a mature game. Like, you totally shouldn't play, even by the law, I would say, this game before like 18. Okay, I understand 16, 14, even 12 maybe years old, I kind of understand, but not 8 years old. In this game, you can go to the brothel and have a lap dance, and after that you can kill the hooker. You can, in the story there are moments where you take drugs, you have to torture people. I'm not exaggerating, I'm not like nitpicking in the game. It's part of the story, I would say. Not about brothel, but all in all. And maybe I'm old school, but I think it's not good, for children to try this out. You cannot run away from this game. It's like one of the most popular games ever made in the world. I'm not saying you should really like ban it or like punish your kid if he's playing this, but if you have some kind of way to postpone the moment when your child will play this game, then do that. That's what I'm saying from my side. If your kid is asking for this game on his birthday and he's like 10 years old, try to find some other game that interests your kid. Like, play with him or ask him what else he's interested in. There are so many good games. I truly believe there is a way to find something else that he will like. So what tips I can give to you from my side, from my experience? In the youth center we always had this practice. You could play video games on a specific time period and not more than maximum 1.5 hours. Like 1 hour you're playing the video game, then you have to go kick some ball or do something for your brain to kind of calm down, because most of those games that children were playing was competitive and they became really like emotional because of those games, like even sweating. So more than 1 hour, it's really hard for the kid. It's himself, organism, like is getting tired. It's so much emotion. It's even like physically and mentally it's hard. So 1 hour you're playing, then you go do something, and then you can maybe play one more time, but not more than 2 hours per day. Children could play in the youth center, and it was like 6 o'clock in the evening. So the same can be at home. You can play the game, but from this hour till that hour. Of course, kids will complain, though they're kids, but if you have this rule and you're consistent by this rule for many days, weeks and months, it should work. The other thing that I truly believe, that you shouldn't play video games before you go to sleep. So if the kid is small, or even not small, even youngster, they shouldn't play the games before they really go to sleep. Like say at least 1 hour before sleep, if it's possible, because the brain is still there, and but the kid is still so active. Even for a grown-up, if you will play some video games for 2-3 hours and then you go to sleep, I don't believe you will just go to sleep in 5 minutes. No, it will take you time. Same there. Just don't play video games before you go to sleep. And one more thing is that it's really important to check. Maybe your child is playing a video game because he has some problems in the real world. Because video games is the best way to run away from problems in real world. They're made in that way that you always get rewarded for doing something. You finish the level, success, 5 stars, score. You're playing with the character. Character is growing, the level is getting higher, you're getting stronger. There are incorporated everywhere those achievements that in real world those achievements doesn't do anything really. You can brag that you have like 5 of them or 50 or 500. No difference in real life. That doesn't mean you become a millionaire. Maybe someone became, you can tell me, but really. So they have all those achievements. So you're feeling, when you're playing those games, you're feeling rewarded that you achieved something in that digital world, in that fake world. You achieved something. And sadly, in real life, and it's even more about, I would say, grown-ups than children, it doesn't work like that. the thing that you played the thing that you worked all night doesn't mean that next day your boss will tell you you're the best worker and you will have a raise. The thing that you spend so much time on some project doesn't mean that the project will be successful. Same with children. The thing that you've been doing the homework and you really tried, you've been drawing something, and then you got like B grade, C grade, or like really like no one liked your work, can be devastating for a kid, of course. But it happens constantly. It's life. In real life, you will not automatically be rewarded, but in video game, you will be, and that's how many of those video games on mobile phones or games targeting kids get them so hooked up on the gameplay. Like there's really so many games that really like, wow, you've made it, like confetti everywhere, pew pew, wow, you're so cool. Kids need that. Everyone needs that, but mostly, of course, children. That you've made it, and if the kid has problems at school with his friends, maybe in family, it's the best way to run away, and I think it's okay, totally. You know. It's a great way. You can run away into the book, you can read the story, and your imagination will flourish. Or you can watch some movies and it will be your escape. But right now, in today's world, mostly, of course, it's about video games, because they're really the most, let's say, interactive experience you can get. But there is this moment that I've seen in my practice of working in the youth center, more than here, of course, is that sometimes children are going there too much, and they're more happy there than in real life, and it looks like there is no escape sometimes. Like children can really get there. And they feel so unhappy outside of the game that the only thing they have in life is the game. I haven't seen that many times, but I've seen that, and that's already scary. So if you know any children that have this problem, or you think they have this problem, you can always contact a specialist. I don't see any problem in that or trouble. Sometimes people need help and parents need help. If I will feel that I totally got nuts, I will go to specialist. Maybe I'm already nuts. Like, who else will make a video game museum? But at least I still kind of function. So specialists, there are specialists. Here in Estonia, there are specialists that can really help. And other thing is that maybe you can change the perception in that sense that you can tell the kid that he can do those games, he can make those games, he can be a game developer, he can be designer, he can be creator. He can go to robotics school, that we have many here in Estonia, great schools. He can do some robots from Lego. Maybe in the beginning he will not want to do that, you know, it happens, but like, you can try to push a bit. To try to design your own basic game, to create your own character, to do something. And it's very important for children to create something, as playing with real Legos. And maybe this will help. I think it's as positive as, you know, like even going to the chess club. Your brain is working, and that's already positive. Like even if everything will collapse, at least you will have this knowledge of studying something new, and then trying to get away from some serious situations in life or work. So all in all, children can always study to make those games, and even if the kid is addicted to some game, you can always try to find a positive way to use that game. With Minecraft it's quite easy. You can tell him to create something specific, to give him tasks, and then he will get some candies for that. to build something, like some schemes. In some shooter games, those can be played with friends, with the community. Like, there is a way to move that addiction into some positive way. And maybe not always, but mostly it's real. It's not such a big trouble. What I truly believe is that you shouldn't take away the console, the phone, the game. The worst thing you can do is to really take away the thing that the kid loves the most. If the person is addicted to something and you just rip it away, it's like from a baby, you take away the lollipop that a small child was eating, or ice cream, and of course the child will cry. And same with the games, of course, you know, children will cry. Even grown-ups will cry. If you will take my ice cream, I will cry. It's not the way. It's not the right way to just take away something. Children can be very smart sometimes. He will find the same game in school from his friend. He will find the same game. He will play that game, and it will be secret from you as a parent. And that means your kid will have more secrets from you. And that's never good. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I went a bit too far maybe sometimes. It's, you know, the talk was not prepared. I was just telling what was in my head. Anyway, we'll meet again. If you have any good ideas for the videos, you can always tell them to me. And goodbye, my friend, goodbye.